Hello everyone. I bet you already know Valve brought out a lot of hardware. I haven't looked into it for now, but I'm doing it right now and you're going to be live seeing my reaction to it. How exciting, isn't it? Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, this is Steam Deck. Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming PC that lets you take your Steam library with you anywhere.
By the way, so far I've never heard anything negative about that thing. And yes, that thing is already out for a while already. So that's good, right? Mobile gaming on a thing that's great. I think that's a good thing. A really, really good thing. And the best thing is, unlike the Switch 2, you own this thing.
We're pretty proud of it. People who own Steam Decks have been playing everywhere, and we couldn't be happier with the response we've heard from all of you. We're excited to talk about the future of Steam Deck, but not today, because this isn't a video about the future of Steam Deck.
Oh my
This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup.
Nice.
All connect you with powerful PC gaming. All are optimized for gaming with Steam, and all are shipping in early 2026.
Ooh,
Let's start
that's
with
good.
this one.
Wait.
This is the new Steam controller.
This thing looks fine. I mean, I'm used to the PS3 controller. And yes, I have a PS3. Not a 4, not a 5, not a 2, but a 3 and a 1. I think I have a 1 somewhere? Or it's at my mother's place, something like that. But yeah, I'm used to that. This thing reminds me, well, of the Xbox controller, of course. Now, if this thing is good, I might actually get one. If it's good. I don't know. Will they be in stores? Because if they are going to be in stores and I can try it out, then I will. And I will let you know if that's the case and if I think they are good.
The new Steam controller puts all of your Steam games at your fingertips, so you can play wherever and however you want. Just like with Steam Deck, we want you to be able to play any game with your Steam controller, even games never built with a controller in mind. It has all the great features from Steam Deck, like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons, all in a comfortable form factor. Its next-generation magnetic thumbsticks let you play with improved responsiveness and longevity. We've put
Magnetic,
capacitive
nice.
touch sensors on the thumbsticks and now on the back of the controller too, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb, or your pinky if you're feeling fancy.
I'm impressed. I'm generally impressed here. This. I think this is nice. I think this is really nice. I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. I like this so far.
Play for way too long with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that allows for over 35 hours of playtime. With Steam Controller, we want to make charging and wireless pairing.
But can I use it while it's plugged in? You know, so I don't need to have a charged battery. Is that a possibility? Because if not, then why is it not?
Something that's actually easy. That's why we created the Puck. The Puck is a combination wireless adapter and magnetic charger included with every Steam controller. Snap it on to charge. Once you're charged up, snap it off again. You can play over
But what if I don't want to charge? Just connect. I mean, will this work? I hope so.
Bluetooth or a wired connection too. The new Steam controller works with any device running Steam or Steam Link, whether it's a PC, Mac, handheld, smartphone, Steam Deck, or the new Steam Machine. Oh, this is the new Steam Machine.
Awesome. By the way, for the ones who are too young to remember or weren't even born, there were Steam machines over 10 years ago. Yeah, that I think that's about it. And they flopped. They flopped. I think there were some reasons. One was they were only sold in GameStops, if I remember correctly. It's too long ago. I don't remember correctly. But they flopped. They flopped, and they flopped hard. I hope this is better.
Steam Machine is a powerful gaming PC in a small but mighty package, designed for your games on the big screen.
The thing is, that actually looks nice. That thing looks nice. Better than the current PlayStation. The PlayStation looks actually good. The Xbox. That thing looks ugly. Especially compared to the PlayStation.
It's quiet too, which is crazy since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, powered by a discrete, semi-custom AMD GPU, enabling 4K gaming at 60.
Semi-custom? And they said GPU, right?
Which is crazy since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, powered by a discrete, semi-custom AMD GPU.
Semi-custom AMD GPU. So basically they went to AMD and said, yeah, we want to collaborate with you, making a GPU for our new Steam machines. Here are the specs that we need. Can you do it? And AMD said, well, yes, give us money. And now we are here. I like this.
Enabling 4K gaming at 60 frames per second with FSR. Steam Machine runs SteamOS made for a bigger screen, built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play, with the rest of your PC accessories. Steam Machine borrows some great features from Steam Deck, like lightning-fast sleep and wake, an SD card slot to easily expand your storage, and brings some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip.
Wait, micro SD? SD card slot, okay. Steam OS fast suspend resume. I don't like that. I want to shut it down. Desktop mode, I hope so. Seamless updates, notifications, Steam input. Yeah,
from Steam Deck, like lightning fast sleep and wake, an SD card slot to ease.
Steam Store, well, of course, it's Steam. Cloud saves, of course, it's Steam. Friends list, of course, it's Steam. Steam chat, yeah, it's Steam. Remote play, well, yeah.
Easily expand your storage, and bring some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip, which can show different system functionalities, or your own light show. Steam Machine is a PC, so run whatever software you want, and it works with all your favorite desktop and gaming accessories.
Which is awesome. This is awesome. So I literally can buy that thing, put it on my desk, put all the things that I have into it, and it just works. This is how it's supposed to be. And the funny thing is, I could buy one, use it as my main gaming machine and my old computer. I could get me a capture card, two PC streaming setup. But I also would need a second keyboard and a mouse and a third monitor, or at least no, not a third. I would put the older, the non-gaming monitor into the would still be in the old PC. The gaming monitor would be in the Steam machine. Could work. Could work.
Steam Machine is designed to work hand in hand with the Steam controller, with the low latency, wireless connectivity of the Steam controller puck built right in. And it's great for streaming your games to your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame. Oh, yep, this is Steam Frame.
Is this thing good?
Steam Frame is Valve's next-generation VR hardware. Stream all your Steam games, VR and non-VR alike.
To be fair, that thing looks better than everything else that we have seen so far. Not just from how it looks, you know? Just the looks.
Like in this comfortable, lightweight, wireless VR headset. Steam Frame uses camera-based tracking, so getting into your games is as easy as slipping on the headset and waking it up. Steam Frame controllers, included with the headset, are designed with all the inputs you need for your VR titles, like motion controls and capacitive tracking for all your fingers, as well as a split gamepad layout to work with your whole Steam library.
Okay.
They even feature the same magnetic thumbsticks as Steam controller for responsiveness and longevity. Steam Frame also pairs seamlessly with the
using the same stuff saves them money. Good idea. So far, I'm actually impressed.
new Steam controller, a great companion for playing non-VR games in the headset. To make sure streaming is smooth and stable no matter what, Steam Frame includes a wireless adapter that lets you stream your games from your PC to your headset over a fast.
Imagine playing Half-Life Alyx. Oh my god, that would be so good.
And dedicated Wi-Fi 6 connection. And the game is streamed to your frame optimized for VR, using new technology that allows for the highest resolution streaming exactly where your eyes are looking. And Steam Frame is a PC, running Steam OS. In addition to streaming, you can install and play a bunch of VR and non-VR games right in the headset without a host PC. You can also expand your onboard storage to fit even more games with a micro SD card.
Wow. This thing is a PC? Okay, I'm super impressed. Super impressed. Generally super impressed. Oh my god, this is insane. This is great. This is awesome. I think this is the first time ever I've praised a VR headset. Because it's not just a headset, it's a computer. Huh. This is interesting. Even I think this is interesting. And I'm not a VR fan because, you know, glasses. I like this. I like this. Oh my god. What's wrong with me?
Steam controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame. All built with the same DNA as Steam Deck. All powered by Steam, work together, and can be used however you'd like with whatever peripherals and accessories you choose. Everything you see here is the culmination of what we've learned from our previous hardware experience and what we've wanted ourselves as gamers. Powerful PC gaming in an open ecosystem, giving you more ways to enjoy.
Open ecosystem. The exact opposite of Apple. Good for them. Good for them. I hope this will be successful. I mean, this is great. If I had the money, to be fair, if I had the money, I would have probably already bought me the Steam Deck. To be very fair here. But yeah, this is great. I really like this. Oh my god.
Enjoy the games you love and discover new ones. Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame are all shipping in early 2026. Learn more at steampowered.com/hardware.
When was the last time I was impressed by hardware? Good question. I think when Ryzen processors came out 10 years ago. I never was impressed by VR headsets ever. This one I actually am, because it's not just a VR headset. The handheld is, but they already have that, but I guess there's a new one coming. So that thing is already impressive. For me, it's more impressive than the Switch, because you don't own the Switch. You have a license to use the Switch. Always remember that you don't own your Switch. Well, the Switch 2. Now, shall we... You know what? Linus video. We just go all in. We go all in.
Everyone knows that outside-in tracking is just better for VR gaming. It's faster, more accurate, and it's more reliable.
Is it
Here's
though?
the thing. Valve isn't everyone, and the new Steam Frame took my expectations of a lousy, flaky experience in a standalone VR headset with...
Look at this. It looks like it's not front heavy. It's a little bit bigger than a skiing mask. Now that I think of it. The technology has progressed so much that they became so small.
Of a lousy...
Look at this. That thing is tiny. Oh my god.
Flaky experience in a standalone VR headset with camera-based positional tracking, and blew them away. They also blew away my expectations for their new Steam Machine and Steam...
And the thing is, it literally looks like a skiing mask. It looks like it. Possibility here, they took it as an inspiration. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Controller, but that's a separate video. We'll have that link down below. In 2 words or less, this
We will take a look at that too.
thing is impossibly good. And, maybe more importantly, impossibly versatile. They managed to make it lighter, more comfortable, and higher fidelity than the OG Index for PC VR gaming.
Oh my god.
They managed to bolt an ARM-based computer to it that runs mobile VR games and applications. You
See? That's why I'm impressed by it. That's the reason.
can even just sideload an Android APK, and the whole thing runs freaking SteamOS with a new element to their Proton compatibility layer called FEX that allows you to play desktop VR games. I'm talking x86 Windows VR games on your ARM Linux VR headset.
Great.
Allows you to play desktop VR games. I'm talking x86 Windows VR games on your ARM Linux VR headset. I would mic drop this, but I think I'd get in trouble. The last part I wouldn't believe if I didn't experience it for myself, but they did all of this with latency that is indistinguishable from the best VR experiences that I've had. But is it
Oh my god, this is insane.
indistinguishable from the best segue I've ever had? To our sponsor, Jawa. Jawa is your one-stop shop to buy
You're gonna
and sell.
skip.
Frame is a fundamental shift for Valve. Rather than being an accessory for your gaming PC, it's meant to be a standalone device that can also be enjoyed alongside your PC using wireless streaming for VR, which sounds horrible, but somehow it's not. Let's take a closer look at the hardware. Then
Well, it all depends on how it's made, how it's achieved. And the thing is, I believe that at Valve, there's where all the good people work, the competent people. Well, the opposite is the case for Microsoft. Very obviously that Microsoft is not hiring the best people. It's very, very obvious.
we can talk about how they did it. The headset that I'm holding is actually made up of multiple components. The core module contains the actual computer and weighs under 190 grams. Then next is an audio module that can be detached with 3 clips under the foam gasket. Then there's the head strap and a battery pack that is cleverly positioned at the back to help counterbalance the device, improving comfort, and also to make it a little bit easier to cable manage if you wanted to have an external battery
Makes complete sense. Yes.
pack. The optics are, simply put, flipping incredible. Like other leading headsets, they're using pancake lenses, but unlike some other headsets that use pancake lenses, there was very little in the way of internal reflections visible in the demo applications that I use today. It is possible that with brighter light sources, it could show up a bit more, but that's going to be something that I'll have to save for the full review. What I can tell you is that under each lens is a 2160
Look at this. It kind of reminds me of night vision, to be fair.
by 2160 LCD display that's capable of anywhere from 72 Hz, presumably for power saving, up to 120 Hz with a 144 Hz experimental mode, just like we had on the Valve Index.
Wow.
As for why Valve decided to use LCD rather than OLED, it basically came down to the light losses due to the pancake lenses. Ooh, since I'm pointing at them, on the inside of each lens, maybe you could even see them if you went cross-eyed enough, is an eye tracker that's obviously going to be great for social VR experiences, but perhaps more important.
Also, eye tracking for certain content stuff, you know. I, by the way, thought about getting an eye tracker, but they're expensive.
Importantly, enables Valve to do what they call foveated streaming, which I'm going to have to explain later because it gets a little in the weeds. First, let's take a look at the controllers. Valve fully acknowledges that these are very similar to other designs in the market, but
of course,
they wanted something that was both great for VR and also great for your non-VR applications if you just want to use your headset as a giant virtual display.
Nice.
And they still managed to add some Valve touches to them, putting capacitive sensing on all in.
Now it would be interesting if I can watch movies on this. I would guess I can. So that would be nice. You just lying in bed. Well, half lying, half sitting in bed and watch a movie. What's your favorite hentai?
Input surfaces and on the grips, so you can still do 5-finger tracking just like the Knuckles controllers from the Valve Index. They have 2-stage actuating triggers, 2-stage actuating grips, which unlocks a ton of control customization. They use the same magnetic thumbstick as the new Steam controller for better reliability and a very small dead zone, and they each have their own independent gyros that can be rebound for aiming or whatever you want. I can't tell if they were being suggestive there, given the popularity of certain VR applications, but I can't say for sure that they weren't. Both controllers have an integrated IMU to track positional data and 18 infrared LEDs that can be tracked by the 4 high field of view cameras that are integrated into the frame's core module. These were strategically positioned so that even if you were, say for example, drawing an arrow from a quiver, it should be able to maintain tracking. Now, I didn't get a chance to try that, nor did I get to fire up Beat Saber, my favorite application for evaluating controller tracking under extreme conditions. But from just shaking them around in the menu, they seem to track extremely well. Valve is claiming about 40 hours of battery life off of a single AA, and this battery...
Actual batteries, nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Compartment is a perfect transition into the customizability that's on display with this headset. They're going to have an optional accessory kit that includes knuckle straps for the controller, as well as a second head strap with a top Velcro piece if you like a bit of additional support.
Nice.
I personally liked it better, but I also didn't feel like it was necessary like it is on the much heavier Apple Vision Pro. There's a lot more to customize on the frame itself, too. It includes a spacer gasket for folks with long eyelashes and to improve compatibility with glasses, but Valve fully acknowledges that not everyone will want to use that because it does take away a little bit from their claimed about 110-degree field of view. So they are working on prescription lenses for the headset itself. We even saw a box of them, but there's no specific timeline on that. IPD adjustments are handled with a little knob on the top.
For me, the thing this might actually work without my glasses. Due to my age, because I have problems seeing close up when I wear glasses.
It spins a cog on the core module, and this is really cool. Right between the goggles at the bottom here is an expansion port that allows up to two 2.5 gigabit MIPI cameras, or a single camera with a PCIe Gen 4x1 slot, allowing all kinds of possibilities for additional accessories. Like if you wanted color cameras, for instance, the built-in ones are only monochromatic. Or if you wanted, I don't know, a smell sensor. The sky's the limit.
Ew.
Since we're on the subject of the cameras, Valve says that they will work for inside-out tracking even in pitch darkness, thanks to IR emitters that are built into the headset itself.
Cool.
And you can expect tracking performance on the order of about 200 to 250 updates per second, which is about on par with the Valve Index. Not something that I expected. Now that I've had a chance to gather my thoughts and eat some crappy airport food, let's talk about how Valve is delivering a PC VR-like experience wirelessly when big names like Apple and Meta have tried and never really succeeded.
The answer is easy. Valve has the people that generally want to make this stuff, and not just for a paycheck. And they are also they are themselves the users of the technology. That's why. That's the explanation.
It starts with the least interesting looking part, this 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi dongle. Valve built the headset with 2 radios and 2 antennas for Wi-Fi, along with a third dedicated antenna for your controllers or your Bluetooth peripherals. One of those Wi-Fi antennas handles 5 gigahertz for your game downloads, your multiplayer data, your voice chat, etc. The other one connects to a very high-end home router, or more likely, Valve's dongle using the so far mostly unused 6 gigahertz band. This is a perfect use case for 6 gigahertz, since it lacks the wall penetration that you might want for home Wi-Fi, but it excels at avoiding 2.4 and 5 gigahertz channel congestion while pushing huge amounts of bandwidth.
Oh.
With that said,
Nice.
While the theoretical maximum is right up there with wired connections, in the real world it falls well short of that. So what's the secret? Foveated streaming. Seeing this in action blew my flipping mind. Basically, the idea behind it is similar to foveated rendering, where the headset tracks your eyes and tells your GPU, hey, only render the area of focus at full fidelity and save your resources on the rest of the scene.
Makes
It's a
sense.
technique that's been used to great effect on the handful of PSVR 2 titles that exist, but has been largely untapped on the PC side, largely because it depends on game developers to implement it. And also, most headsets don't have built-in eye tracking, so why would they bother? Foveated streaming then. Again, same idea. Focus your resources wherever the eyes are looking. Except in this case, it's not the GPU saving on rendering resources, it's the video encoding stream saving on bitrate. So you get crystal clear, high bitrate encoding, exactly where your eyes are looking, and then a little bit blurry everywhere else. At least in theory. In practice, it reacted so fast that no matter how quickly I tried to move my eyes, I wasn't able to catch it. But I also don't feel too bad about that. Valve put on an incredible demo for me in Half-Life Alyx, where they highlighted the maximum fidelity window as I was looking around. And even though they say it's only about 10% of the total video stream, it ends up being a pretty large window. Wild. As for the encoding latency, well, thanks to some clever parallelization of the encoding, you can expect anywhere from 1 to 2 milliseconds of extra latency on a modern GPU, and 4 to 5 for a slightly older but still VR-capable one. Not enough to notice or to contribute to significant motion sickness. And it keeps getting better. I managed to get almost 50 feet away from the dongle without a noticeable difference in the experience.
Oh my God.
Granted, this is still line of sight, but it's a lot further than I can get with a tether. Now, I did bring up the possibility of more than one of these devices causing interference with each other, and Valve said that while they have operated multiple headsets concurrently in the same space, they haven't explored more demanding use cases like packed VR cafes.
Oh.
Moving on to audio. The built-in solution is...
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Just from a business standpoint, you could make, you know, an AR. Huh. I'm intrigued. You can have paintball, whatever area, but you know, it's AR only. That would be really interesting. Really interesting.
Both incredibly impressive and also a little disappointing. I'm impressed by the audio quality. They apparently had to use opposing drivers to cancel out the vibrations to make sure that the inside-out tracking wouldn't get messed up, and they sound fantastic. As for the mic, I didn't get a chance to test it, but Valve assured me that the mics should carry on the Index's incredible reputation for stellar microphone performance. I'm disappointed because I literally had the engineer who worked on the Index and this new headset in the room with me, and when I asked her for a gaming headset with all this same audio black magic, she just shrugged. So, sorry y'all, I tried. In all seriousness, the speakers don't fire directly into your ears, so there is a bit more sound bleed than with the Index, but it doesn't seem like a game breaker, depending on what you're watching and who's around.
Yeah.
The last couple of experiences I want...
Don't watch hentai. Don't play the naughty games. Unless you're alone. Then you don't care. Wait. Does that thing not have a connection for a headset? Why? It should have.
Want to talk about are a huge deal whether you plan to use them or not. The first is Thex, an open source project that Valve has been contributing, and this is a quote, quite heavily to. It's a translation layer that allowed me to experience a completely standard Windows x86 game, Hades 2 in this case, running directly on the hardware on the frame. I'm talking x86 code designed to run on Windows, running on a Snapdragon 8650 running Linux. Holy freaking mind blown.
Might be
They're
the future.
planning a compatibility.
If Microsoft is continuing to, you know, botch their OS, if they continue to make Windows even worse, this might be the future. And I hope it is. Because screw Microsoft. I hate Windows. I'm not gonna switch to Windows 11. Never gonna do that. It's crap.
List a la great on deck for the future. But wait a second. Running on Linux? Yeah, Valve's been busy. Porting SteamOS to ARM. How did they drop so much news on one day? The frame does everything that you know and love about SteamOS, like...
Because they have the people that actually want to do stuff like that. They are passionate about that. And they are good at what they are doing. That's how you get this.
Fast suspend and resume and performance overlays, except on your VR headset directly. And as I mentioned briefly in the intro, if you blinked, you might have missed it. With this new ARM processor comes the ability to, supposedly, run Android APKs by directly sideloading them onto the Steam frame. And given how many VR experiences are designed to run on mobile devices, this is a colossal win.
Yeah.
And with Valve's commitment to putting micro SD card slots on all their devices, it can't be too hard to install. Now, there are still some areas where the frame doesn't seem to be industry leading. The light seal isn't perfect, especially if you compare it to the Beyond 2 with its custom 3D printed gasket. The pass-through cameras, they're just monochromes, so don't expect to be wearing your frame out and about like people did with the Apple Vision Pro for the first week or so. From my very brief and admittedly not side-by-side experience, it's also not the highest...
Yeah, I would never wear that outside because it would get stolen. That's just how it is.
...clarity nor highest dynamic range display I've ever seen.
And it's too expensive. It's too expensive.
And it's not as light or compact as, say, the big screen Beyond 2. But it's the overall package that should have the entire rest of the industry stopping and going, how did Valve, who, as of 2021, supposedly had less than 350 employees, manage to outmaneuver monsters like Meta, who spent $17.7 billion on Reality Labs just last fiscal year?
Because they only do it for the money. The engineers only do it for the money. Valve, the people there actually use this stuff. They actually want to do this stuff. And they get paid well for it, for doing it. So you get good results. That's how this is possible. That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
I would ask Gaben how it happened, but I'm pretty sure he's busy on his yacht. All I know is that I want one, whether it's for wireless PC gaming, native gaming on the road with minimal bulk in my bag, or even just relaxing on the couch watching movies on the big screen. Like, what kind of sucker needs a big TV when this thing exists?
Yeah.
So, with the frame clearly taking the place of the Index in Valve's lineup, what happens to all the users of the Index and, maybe more importantly, the third-party ecosystem that exists around its base stations and Knuckles controllers? The short answer is the Index is EOL. But the long answer is Valve would love to see other players in the VR space approach them about continuing to support or even continuing to manufacture these devices.
Wow. Now that's something. That's Valve always winning. Always winning.
Whether that'll happen, I don't know, but at least Valve is open to the conversation. Just like I'm open to telling you about our sponsor.
Grammarly. Writing things like a novel, an essay.
Wow, this was good. Now here we are. Let's go.
Edition Steam controller. Let's start with Valve dropped 3 absolute bombs today. The Steam Frame standalone VR headset, that's going to have to be a separate video, with this one focusing on the new Steam Machine, and yes, the wait is finally over, the 2026 edition Steam controller. Let's start with a little history. Over 10 years ago, Valve announced...
Told you. At least 10 years ago. Man, 2013. That's 12 years ago. Oh my god. Every day that passes, every day new tech is there, I feel older.
Their first version of SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system that would free gamers from the shackles of Microsoft Windows. No, it was a total commercial flop. But instead of giving up on Steam machines, Valve doubled down, working with game developers on Linux-native ports of their games and with open-source developers on the Proton compatibility layer that makes their Steam Deck handheld out-of-the-box compatible with thousands of Steam games, even ones that only ever shipped on Windows. The Steam Deck is believed to have sold millions of units at this point, and no wonder given its great balance of solid gaming and outstanding affordability. But its mobile form factor has given it certain limitations and left gamers hungry for something more substantial. And well, here it is. I'm calling it the Lunchbox. 1, because it's substantial, like lunch. 2, because it's cube-shaped, like a box. And 3, because I think this thing is going to eat Xbox's lunch. Okay.
Oh yeah, Xbox is dead. Completely dead. And this Xbox, wasn't it a couple of weeks ago where Xbox said that they're not producing any new Xboxes or something like that? I'm not sure. But what I'm sure about is that the remake of Halo 1 is going to be on PlayStation 2. So yeah, Xbox is dead.
That last one was a bit of a reach. But not as far as I'm reaching for this segue.
To our sponsor.
To our sponsor. In what has become typical Valve fashion, they've been atypically open about the new Steam machine, giving us direct access to the engineering folks who worked on these devices. The only thing I didn't have today was time, so we're going to get through this as fast as we can. At the heart of the Steam machine is a 6-core AMD Zen 4-based CPU that turbos up to 4.8 GHz.
A 6-core Zen 4? That's good. That's really good. Semi-custom AMD RDNA 3. Oh, 8 GB only? GDDR6, okay, that's good. Ray tracing supported, nice. 60 gigs of DDR5. If you only play games, that's enough. And a little bit of video editing, that's enough. Not if you play games and stream. Then it's not. I know it because I did it. That's why I upgraded to 32 gigs. Because 16 is not enough as a content creator. Micro SD slot. Oh, right. An SSD. I probably would go for the 2 terabytes.
With 16 gigs of RAM and an 8 gig GPU that they compared to a 7600 XT-ish. But they were also quick to point out that it might not be apples to apples thanks to their custom software stack and power tuning. Basically, the goal was that pretty much anything on Steam should run at 4K 60 FPS if you're willing to turn down the details and use a little bit of FSR upscaling. And we saw that on display with Cyber...
Well, it's a PC. Of course you know, try to get it running well and tinker with the settings. That's normal. Every console user ever, oh my god, no, this is horrible. No, it's not. Shut up.
Cyberpunk running in the demo room at these settings. Valve says to expect about 6 times the performance of the Steam Deck. Now, I was a little surprised to not see an SoC with shared memory, but apparently the decision to go for discrete CPU and GPU came down to balancing cost, power, size, and performance, and also they just didn't feel like they needed to. And I guess Valve was right, because they nailed this thing. Compared to a more traditional ITX small form factor machine like the OG Steam Machine reference design, you can see that it's a lot smaller. More on par with a highly integrated design like something like the Framework desktop. Investment disclosure.
This thing is tiny compared to everything else. You can put that wherever and no one will be bothered with it. Unlike this abomination.
Like the Framework desktop, Valve allows customization of the front panel using these magnetic plates, and they're going to provide the CAD files so you can put whatever your heart desires on here. They even had a machine in the demo room with an e-ink display that was showing system vitals. Pretty darn cool. But unlike the Framework, it has a programmable RGB strip in the front that could be used to personalize your style or maybe show a progress bar while you switch your TV input and wait for your game to be downloaded.
I can't wait for all the gooners to have the front panel just tatas. Just tatas. Having the waifus on that. I guarantee you 100% we will see that next year. When it comes out. Immediately first month. I guarantee it to you.
Is kind of the limit. The front of the device has a power button, micro SD slot, 2 USB 3 5 gigabit per second ports. Then the rest of the I/O is in the back, where you'll find 2 USB 2 Type A ports, a USB-C 10 gigabit per second port, no display port on there, that is worth noting, gigabit Ethernet, power in for the integrated power supply. Good gravy, this thing is compact, as well as an HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.4 port. It is worth noting that HDMI 2.0 port, they have tested it at HDMI 2.1 speeds, but there are a couple of features that are not implemented, so they can't call it HDMI 2.1. Also at the back, we have a large 120 millimeter cooling fan that draws air from both the intake on the bottom that comes up through the power supply, as well as the large heatsink on the front. We're going to
which they need, because it's so compact. This is great. Good design.
Crack this thing fully open in a sec. But first, I want to talk about the Steam controller. No, not that Steam controller. The new one. With the exact same name.
That one looks better.
Before you ask, yes, I made my case to Valve that this is unnecessarily confusing. No, they're not going to change it. The good news is Valve learned a lot from the first Steam controller, and this appears to be their most complete offering ever. To be fair, the original was really cool. I mean, it made non-controller games finally playable from the couch, thanks to their innovative haptic touchpad.
But the new one
also unlocked novel input schemes with gesture control or like swiping with momentum. But they also turned off a lot of folks due to their deficiency of traditional joysticks. Well, that's solved now. The Steam controller is everything that is great.
This thing looks like even I can hold it with my big manly hands, which is a problem. My hands cramp when I play on Switch controllers. You know, the original tiny Switch controllers from the sides. They don't work for me. They really hurt me. And I mean that literally. They hurt me.
About the controller on the Steam Deck, but usable when your Steam Deck is in docked mode, or with your Steam machine, or with any other PC, investment disclosure. On the surface, it offers up a conventional ABXY button layout with a PlayStation-style symmetric joystick design that will work seamlessly out of the box with basically any game. The trackpads have been repositioned to better accommodate the arm's natural position while holding a smaller device compared to the wider Steam Deck, and all of the usual Valve buttons are included. A Steam button for opening the menu, their quick access button for bringing up the SteamOS overlay, 4 rear programmable buttons, the face buttons are satisfying with a nice amount of resistance, and the D-pad has been tuned from the Steam Deck for better feel. It feels okay to me, but I only got a couple minutes with it before Valve blew my mind. The joysticks are next-generation TMR or tunneling magneto-resistant joysticks, boasting superior accuracy and durability even compared to Hall effect joysticks.
This is great.
The controller has been designed from the ground up for a superior gyroscopic aiming or mousing experience with capacitive thumbsticks and even capacitive grips, so you can configure your gyro to enable or disable depending on whether you put your thumb on the stick or even by simply loosening your grip, say to recenter and then reactivate gyroscopic aiming. They had a great demo with Balatro showing how you can use the game's built-in controller compatibility like a pleb, or, hear me out, trackpads with the right for movement and the left one split down the middle for left and right click. Or, hear me out again, gyro mouse using the face buttons for clicks.
Oh my god,
if you don't care about gyro aiming,
this is insane. This is... Valve is cooking. They really are cooking. This is great. This is awesome. Oh gee, oh god, this is so good. Now this is tech that I like. This is tech that I like. Unlike, you know, basically every other company. Man, how is it that Valve is the only tech company that makes things actually for the users? How is that a thing? And by for the users, I mean not just to take their money. You know, not like Apple. Jesus. Oh my god. I will never buy anything Apple. That stuff is overpriced.
These capacitive inputs are all remappable as well, opening up a whole world of possibilities. Let's go even deeper. In addition to the haptic, texture-like feedback that you know and love from Valve's previous touchpads, the Steam controller has been upgraded with large rumble motors for better immersion and a large battery that they claim should be good for 35 hours in the most demanding applications, and even better if you don't need quite as much rumble. But I haven't even talked about the best part. If you've ever gamed over Bluetooth, you know that it can be inconsistent at best. Valve's solution? The puck. Every Steam controller comes with a wireless dongle that clips magnetically to the Steam controller using a couple of nice, strong alignment magnets. And it uses a proprietary 2.4 gigahertz wireless interface that Valve claims is good for about 8 milliseconds end-to-end latency and offers up superior resiliency when you're using multiple controllers. It allows 4 controllers per puck, so that's not as good as the Xbox dongle, which can do 8. But Valve has tested up to 4 pucks on a single system for a maximum of 16 players, meaning that you're probably going to run out of seats on your couch before you run out of controller compatibility.
That's nice.
The last chef kiss on top is an IR emitter that's cozied up beside the power LED to help you find your controller when you're in VR. I love it. Now let's get back to the Steam machine who got naked while we were busy. Oh, you. While Valve's goal was to build something that is zero hassle.
Look at this thing. That thing is this. It's a little bigger than a power supply. This is insane. The power supply that I have is about half the size of that. How insane is that? This is awesome.
Grab-in game for the non-tinkerers. They really were laser focused on a console-like experience with quick suspend and resume and modern standby so that your games are already updated when you sit down to play. They also fully acknowledge that there are folks out there, guilty, who are tinkerers, and they've come up with an ingenious design for this thing that allows it to cater to both audiences. In advance, no, you're not going to be swapping out the BGA soldered processors. But what you can do is upgrade the storage with next to no hassle to a 2230 or larger 2280 sized M.2 drive. And while we couldn't...
My M.2 drive has all my games on it. So I could just put it in there. Done. Oh my god. This would be great.
go that deep today, Valve also confirmed that the memory uses standard SODIMM slots. Finally, while Valve hasn't actually told iFixit that this product is coming yet, they did say that they're hoping to continue their partnership that they've had on the Steam Deck, making replacement parts available for end users. Awesome.
Great.
Since we're in here, by the way, there are some really cool details that I'd love to highlight. The power supply, for one thing, is fully integrated to the point where it's actually part of the chassis, and the cooling solution pulls air directly through it, which avoids any need for it to have its own fan. The aforementioned Delta cooling fan is actually slightly thicker than the standard 25mm for extra static pressure, and it includes antenna mounts that are integrated into it, along with I/O mounts. Cool, right? Oh, this is actually a great look at the 4 antennas. So this is the back of the device, where you have your 2 antennas for Wi-Fi 6E. Then if we flip it around to the front, we've got 1 antenna for Bluetooth peripherals and another one that is dedicated to your Steam controller or controllers. So that puck that's included with your controller is actually extra, and you could chuck it on another PC or next to your couch for charging. A major question mark, though, is of course price. Valve wasn't able to give any specific numbers due to rapidly evolving market conditions, but they will obviously have it nailed down when the Steam Machine launches in Q1 2026 alongside the new Steam controller. They did give me one hint though. They said that while they expect it to be very competitively priced with a PC, that it will be priced like a PC rather than like a console with games subsidizing the
So 1,000 probably, maybe a little more. I expected somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500. Now I might be wrong, but we will see.
Front hardware purchase. They wouldn't say why, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's partially to avoid stepping on the margin opportunities of their potential partners for Steam games and Steam software, but also because they recognize that the Steam Machine is a full-fledged PC, capable of being used as a full-fledged PC. There's no guarantee that, say, a corporate purchase of 10,000 of these things would result in a single game sale. So they really do need to protect the sustainability of their hardware business. Another major question mark is, where the heck is standalone SteamOS for custom PC builders? Well, we aren't going to get a formal SteamOS release for BYO hardware configurations anytime soon, but Valve has expanded the list of supported third-party devices, and they have supported installing the Steam Deck recovery image on AMD CPU and GPU systems for some time, and recently updated it to support their latest Zen 5 and RDNA 4 architecture processors. So
nice.
Nothing prevents you from building your own Steam machine and installing the software for free, though you will miss out on some things. HDMI CEC control, for instance, required Valve to build a custom motherboard in order to have your computer turn on alongside your AV receiver. And to get that on a BYO PC would require some serious cooperation between hardware makers that I don't know if we should hold our breath for. But the bulk of the experience should work pretty much out of the box. We may even get a release that supports a broader range of hardware in the future. But the vibe I'm picking up on around here is that it really depends on better support for Intel and especially NVIDIA GPUs. I'm also picking up this vibe to our sponsor.
Great. Awesome. I'm so looking forward to this. Oh my god. This we are entering a PC gaming renaissance, hopefully. If this picks up, PC gaming might go to the stars and beyond. Kidding. Yeah, I'm actually hyped. I'm actually hyped for hardware. That didn't happen in a while. Man, awesome. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I can't wait for the first reviews coming out next year. This is awesome. This is, if everything goes well, this might be a game changer. This might be a game changer when it comes to PC gaming. You know, not having to rely on Windows for stuff to run on it. That would be great, because Windows sucks these days. Yeah. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, comment if you like this video or not. If you have criticism, the comment section is there. The algorithm will love it. Anyways, see you next time. Bye bye.